So we're back at the Jersey Buzz podcast. The buzz is back, and we are going through some really crazy, energetic times right now. This is Nicole, my little Reiki angel girl. What's up?
Hey.
I know. So I met you for Caricature, the hair art show.
Yes.
And you were awesome and did it I think every year.
Yeah.
And then COVID hit and you just went into this transformation like a butterfly in a chrysalis. And you just, all of a sudden, I'm like, oh my gosh, you're a Reiki? And I'm like, what's that? and tell us, how did you all of a sudden wake up and say, this is what you wanted to do?
Yeah. Well, it wasn't quite like that, although it probably seemed like that from the outside. I think it happened slowly over time. Probably about 10 years ago, or maybe even 15 now, I started, just looking for something different. I was in the salon, I wound up in that industry over 30 years. It's just a lot of grind and a lot of, whatever. And I was like, let's study angels, or, I want to read cards, or I want to read palms, or what is it like to, just random things that I found interesting and I thought would be fun to learn about. So I started doing some of those things, and I found Reiki. Someone gave me a session for a Reiki appointment, and I thought, what is this? They're not going to touch me, but it's like a massage.
I know.
What is this? But I didn't care because I was so busy at that time. I was like, well, I'm just going to lay down. That's nice.
I know.
But I loved it. I fell in love with it. There were these messages. An angel came through in my session, and it just felt really aligned. And I was like, I want to know more about this, So over the next few years, I had a few more sessions, and I then found a teacher, and I thought, I'll learn this just for me. This isn't something I'm going to share with anybody else. But then people would ask, hey, what are you doing? Would you do that for me? Or I started studying angels and angel cards. And then my clients would say, can you pull some cards for me? All the girls at work would say, so eventually I did open up a space in the salon. I had a little room, and I was doing angel card readings and I was doing Reiki, but it was sort of, I could hide behind the salon, right? There's my muggle job. I'm a salon owner. This is my stuff I do on the side. Don't tell anyone.
I did not know that, by the way.
Yeah. And we'd have circles after. We'd have, singing bowl circles, or we'd have meditations. We did all these things, but it was like the people that I knew I was safe with, people I knew for a while, people who were really interested. It was kind of quiet. But then during, COVID, so I think I had one foot in and one foot out, and during COVID, I had to go to distance Reiki, which is Reiki is something you can send energetically from a distance also. I had never really done that before. And it was so beautiful. And during that crazy time when I didn't know what was happening with my business, when there was so much fear, I felt so grounded and connected, and like I was making a difference and I was helping people, and it was wonderful. And then when it became time to open back up again, I was just like, you know what? It doesn't feel right anymore. I feel like I need to, come out of the closet and embrace,
right.
wave my freak flag and yes, I talk to angels and I read cards and I can see your energy, and I love it. I just love it.
Yeah.
It just was easier to hide behind other things before. We used to have medium circles at the salon. We did all kinds of stuff. But
I had no idea.
It was on the side,
I would have totally have done that because
yeah.
I was into it.
Yeah.
And yes, it was during COVID. And I don't know how I discovered, maybe it was you were posting stuff. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But we have a really cool story. So during COVID, I was doing podcasts on streaming. You came on. And at that time, I think everybody was going through a transformation. I mean, you were like, you had to.
Yeah.
You had no choice. You had to come to Jesus. Yeah. And you either got along with your family or you realized you wanted a divorce.
We all got
or you
a big time out. It was like, okay.
Big time out. And, I had no idea what Reiki was. I was like, it's not a massage. So I was like, so many people at that time, and still do, needed something that they could, maybe try or whatever. So that's when you came onto the show.
Yeah.
Now, the crazy part that happened, which we will play this audio, was that you I was editing and I said, Nicole, was there someone else in the room with you? Now, 2 days before that, I had gotten cards and I was pulling my cards. I didn't know what I was doing. I was just playing with it and I figured, why not? And then I'm like, okay, if this stuff is real, I need proof. Because, right, don't we always need proof?
Yeah, I test
You
them
know, I
all the
believe in
time.
God. Yeah, I believe in God. And I just thought, I always thought angels was a Catholic thing, But I heard another voice over it sounded kind of like a portal, but there was another voice, and you can hear this. And I was like, Nicole, was there? And you said no, and I sent it to you.
Yeah.
Tell us what that was.
Yeah. I mean, I believe you. I think that you really have a special knack of tuning into the angels and the guides also. I
do now, yeah.
You can, yeah. And it just gets stronger with practice. So I think, I just think that was your proof and that was a tune in. But I hear the angels as a vibration. So when we were doing that, they were moving through me and speaking through me. But I don't hear them like that until you caught it.
Yeah. I think, even with ghosts and, you can only see them through the camera.
Right.
And audio. But you had asked your guide to help you with explaining Reiki.
Explaining Reiki, especially that. That was the hardest thing for me in the beginning. People would say, what's Reiki? And I would say,
because it's hard to explain.
It's hard to explain. It's something easier to experience, so it was it was a hard thing, and I wanted to be clear, and I wanted to explain it, and I wanted people to know it was for everyone, and it wasn't. And so I just asked my angels, please come through, help me find the words to.
Oh, they did.
Yeah, they sure did.
They sure did.
Yeah,
because it was, as you can hear on the audio, because we're going to play it word for word. And it sounded kind of like a guy.
Yeah.
I know.
I think it was Michael.
And has been passed down from master teacher to student for, since then. It's the word Reiki. So Rei in Japanese means universal life, and Ki means
for, since then. It's the word Reiki, so Rei, Japanese means universal.
I know. I was like, that is so. Go, and that was my proof.
Yeah.
I needed the proof. I mean, I don't see angels, but then so now we're fast forward a few years, and I get my sessions done by you, etc. The last one with the earthquake.
That was wild. We have a lot of wild things.
We do.
Yeah.
During my session, there was that major earthquake in New Jersey.
Yeah.
I swear I saw lava.
Yeah.
Or like red molten.
Yeah. And when you're giving Reiki, you're the channel, right? So I just opening up the channel, the light's moving through me. So I'm really connected to the floor and, up above. And so when that happened, it just felt like it moved through my body. I was like, what's happening?
I know, like all your crystals were shaking. And I'm like, what is going on?
Cool.
That was wild.
Yeah.
And funny thing is that appointment got canceled a couple times. And that was the only date that could happen.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it was, I didn't turn into a superhero. I was kind of like, do I have superpowers now?
I think you do.
I know, right? I know. I love it. Well, was this something as a kid that because I always say, look back what you did as a child. Were you into this as a kid?
Yeah. I mean, to a point, I had so many imaginary friends. I was never alone. I talked to the trees and the bushes and I love to go to sleep because I felt like my friends came. So they probably did. Yeah, I believe it now, but I was told,
you're making your imaginary friends.
You're just, too much in your imagination. Get out of the clouds, and that's not true, and that's not, So eventually, you believe that too.
I know. So any parent out there, please do not do that to your child these days. No, because that's their gift to. Yeah. Whatever. And now look at you heal people with that energy. Yeah. Actually, literally talking to the. Yeah.
You can put it away as long as you want and just ignore it. They don't go anywhere. They're there. And when the time's right, they make themselves known,
So for anybody listening, I just want to say, keep an open mind on this, because it can sound really woo woo, but science and spirituality, woo-wooism, they're having the same conversation because now we're getting into an incredibly crazy time. Yeah. Let's see, we had well, as we're recording this, we have upcoming the blood moon, full moon in Virgo, which Mercury in retrograde, I think Venus is going into retrograde,
already. Yeah.
and a lunar eclipse, and the spring equinox. And then coming up in April is another solar eclipse.
Yeah.
What the hell does that all mean?
Yeah.
Besides, everyone's going to go crazy.
No, it doesn't mean that at all. I mean, there's a lot of energy. There's a lot of stuff going on out there, right? But like for people that don't follow that or in tune, you're still experiencing that. Like tell a nurse that works in an emergency room on a full moon that there's no, connection to some of those things. I think that we all feel them, even if it's not something we're into or we know why, it's cool to understand it a little bit. Astrology is, there's so much
complex.
So for me, I know just enough to be dangerous, but not to go into a fear about it. Everything is an opportunity. Eclipses are powerful energy. A lunar eclipse, especially the one that we would have just past experience, is in our south node. It's all about releasing the old stories, releasing old relationships, the things that don't work anymore, so we can move and make room for in a new way, and other ones might be about what you're calling in, or so it really just,
it's shifting.
Yeah, it's just shifting the energy, and you're doing it whether you know it's happening or not.
And like to give it into perspective, because what you were saying, you hear, but basically, if you're sick and tired of people like walking all over you or telling yourself you're not good enough or you're not worthy, that's the bullshit that you need to get rid of.
Yeah.
Write it down on a piece of paper and burn it.
Yeah, exactly.
Get rid of it.
Exactly.
And start betting on you. And you have, which I love about, I started doing the full moon cycle and new moon just for fun. I made shifts. I have the studio now because it was my dream, but I kept, kind of like not believing in myself.
Yeah.
Well, because you and I had several conversations.
Yeah.
My angels are like, stop whining.
Yeah.
Just go for it. No,
they were nicer.
They didn't say that. That was my translation.
Yeah.
Okay. So for anybody who's kind of curious, just start following your page, because every Sunday you pull some cards and talk about the energy of the week. And then Wednesday you kind of do like a midweek recap.
Yeah.
So what are these cards representing?
Yeah, so for this particular week, the first card, and I pulled from a different deck, a bunch of different decks every week, so we kind of get a different flavor of what it is. But this one, this week was all about gratitude. It was about finding joy in the little blessings that, no matter what is going on in our lives, no matter how crazy, there's something to be grateful for. I remember times where it was just like, I love this coffee. This is the best coffee I've ever had. Or I love my bed. I'm so happy to be in my warm, safe bed. It could be anything from little to big, but finding those moments. And then the next card was the Mystic Meadow with Sanctuary. It was about finding your inner peace, with all the chaos and all the craziness that might be surrounding us and taking our attention away. Plus, there's so many things that take our attention away. It's just it's a world of distraction. So it was coming back to that piece of not giving your power away, of finding your own peace, and just being really grounded in that. And I think the midweek reminder that came up after this was a Tower card, which was remembering that you're in this transformation state, that there's a lot going on, a lot of could feel like destruction or upheaval. I like to say the Tower card is like like redoing your house. It's construction. It's dirty. It's messy. But at the end, you have this beautiful new structure, right? This beautiful new home. So we're kind of in that space. So finding the blessings in the middle of the chaos, and finding that inner peace and trusting that where you're going is it's where you're supposed to be going.
I know. I love that. And it's truly, truly with the energy that's happening right now.
Yeah.
Because nobody is getting out of this one.
Yeah.
I do believe, we're just, if you look at time and history, you'll see that evolution of war, peace, and transformation.
Yeah.
But I think we're into some different times now. When, there's a lot of people who are going crazy, anxiety, et cetera. What are some tools to for grounding. And I know walking's one, being out in nature. What do you recommend?
Yeah, absolutely. Being
Stone
out in
crystals.
nature, all of the things,
All
right? All the things, like going out in nature, music is great at shifting energy, whether you need something calming or something like get you going. Being barefoot, salt baths, breath. But exercise for some people, that's not me, but some people. But really, it's moving. It should
Movement.
It's movement. And yeah, all of those things and stepping it up. Whatever you used to do for self-care, you need to do double it.
Extra.
If you drink a little water, we're drinking a lot of water. It's all the things. And I just have to say that's why I love working with the angels. And you have to know that they are here for everyone. They're not like in the Jewish religion, they talk about Metatron a lot. In the Christian religions, they talk about Gabriel or Michael, and we kind of associated them with like a religion or a thing. And they are for everyone. It doesn't matter if you're religious, what religion, if you're not religious at all. And they're really surrounding us at this time. It sounds,
I know, it's cool.
People sometimes think that it's funny because religious people think that you're witchy or something when you're talking about them, and other people think that you're religious when you talk about them. It's for everyone, and they are coming in, and they are closer than ever. And they're coming in. I started studying angels maybe 10 years ago, or no, like I said, 15 years ago. And I would study one, and who do I call in for this or who do I call in for that? Yeah. Now they're coming in teams. They really are, because there's so many layers. They want to help you feel safe. They want to help give you courage. They want to help you manifest your dreams. They want to help bring the right people in or clear the people that need to be cleared. So I feel that that's a tool. You don't have to know anything about them, but to say, okay, angels, whoever you are,
attention,
I'm open to your help. I think intention is everything. Call them in and see what happens. Even if it's like, let's see about this.
Well, and one of the things too that I learned is that because you're having a human experience, you need to also give them permission.
Yes.
Because they can't just help you unless it's but for the most part,
we have free will.
And
they respect that. That's like one of the laws of nature or whatever, that we have free will. So
okay, so if anyone's interested in this, well, I know obviously you do the work, but what resources, because what's his name, the book that you work with, you're certified? Kyle Gray.
Oh, yes, Kyle, yeah.
Kyle.
Yeah. He just came up with a new book, actually, and I forget what it's called. But you'll find it, Kyle Gray, Angels. It's brand new. It's all over it. But it's like their angels are with us or something. And it's amazing. Like Kyle
I'll
Gray.
have to check it out.
Yeah, it's really cool.
But he has a book that I got because of you. And I think it came with also angel numbers. Numbers. So like 1111, 333.
Yep.
If you do angel numbers and stuff, like, so if I see a number, I'll see 333, 444. That's a sign for me. And also, this is so funny. In White Feathers, I was doing a vision board group at an old place called Wildflower, and out of the middle of the room, a white feather just floated on the table. Yeah, everyone's like, "What the hell?" Like, we're like, "Where'd that come from?" I'm like, that's Ben.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. The universe is always talking to us. They're always talking to us. We just need to listen. And if you acknowledge that, when you see that feather and you say, "Oh, that's Ben," he's going to give you something else. Like it's like, yep, that's it. That, just so acknowledging those signs, not dismissing them, not like, oh, there's a rainbow in the middle of the sunny sky. I wonder if that's what, for me. And then
they're like little mystical. So it makes life fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because everything's kind of an adventure. Like I'll put in like, okay, I need help with these people or finding this resource. Boom. Something comes in my way.
Always.
And I've learned to kind of trust it's your intuition, but it's also little nudges from the universe. Because, I mean, like I said, keep an open mind. If you feel you're alone, it just is kind of cool to know that you're not.
You're not alone, no.
Even when you're by yourself, because sometimes the people around you are not the best to be around.
Yeah.
Just saying. The negative people, some people are just really miserable.
Yeah.
And then, everyone's going through their own stuff.
Yeah.
So if you start dumping your crap on everyone else, well, they're going through their own crap, especially right now. How do you deal? This is why we're having this conversation. How do you deal with your own crap or anxieties or whatever?
Yeah.
And these are tools how to do that.
There really are. And just finding time to be quiet in this busy world. Like I know people would tell me to meditate years ago, and I said, you're crazy. I'm not going to sit. My mind is too much, it's not going to happen. But it does, it has. So it could be a cup of coffee on the porch, listening to the birds. But if you can give yourself the space to witness what's happening, sometimes we don't see it because our life is so close to our face. We can't see it.
I know.
So if there's somebody, what is the world mirroring to you? If there's someone bugging you, that really gets under your skin and drives you nuts. Why? What is it? Because there's medicine in that. If there's someone who, like, there was, maybe they cry all the time. You're just driving you crazy that they're crying all the time. Why are they so emotional? It's making you crazy. Do you allow yourself to be emotional? Is that something you don't allow yourself, so it makes you crazy with someone else? There's always medicine in seeing if there's almost all anger. Underneath anger is a fear or sadness. So like it's just easier to feel angry. That's an easier emotion than to feel like real grief or real, or fear. So when we get angry about anything, what's really underneath it? What am I really, upset about? What is the real feeling? And if we can find that, I mean, there's just, once you see it, you can heal it. Once you acknowledge it, it's not hiding anymore. It's not in the dark. You see it and it shifts. You know?
No, that's so well said, because there's a lot of anger going on right now.
Yeah.
And a lot of it is angry at other people, and they're voicing that. And I'm like, it's a mirror. And even like books tell you that. I know Alcoholics Anonymous, their step program, it says that in there too. Like, if someone makes you mad, chances are that that's a lesson for you, or you brought it on yourself.
Yeah.
Because no matter where you go, there you are.
Yeah, that's the truth.
You cannot get rid of yourself.
That's the
and so
truth.
this is more or less like just tools for people to work with, because at the end of the day, like, we're here just to have your best life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
And that's, again, what I love, just to say why I surround myself with angels, because there's all kinds of guides, right? We can surround ourselves with spirit and ancestors and, the deities and the goddesses and, whatever. Right. But for me, angels, I work with all of those things, but angels just they keep me in a way that feels grounded and safe to have the experience, to really be able to look inside, and they just make it all softer and easier and open doors for me. And, I just think they can do it. It will change your life. It really will, just by,
100%. I just got
opening
the
up to
chill.
that.
I just got the chills. All right. Who's that?
Yeah.
Anyway, I want to thank you so much for coming on, because I feel that anyone who's open to, just keep an open mind, have some fun with it. This is how I started. I was like, I want to manifest a triple-decker purple bus. And do you not know I saw one going down 206? I was like, it was from the casinos.
I love it.
And I'm like, oh no, that. And then I started playing with it. You can have fun with this. But how can people find your, do you have a website, all that, so they can learn more about this?
Yeah, my website is my name. It's and then NicoleSchoen.com. And actually on there, I do have a little thing, which is an Archangel cheat sheet, which you can download. And that could just open the door. It has 15 angels that you can, and their specialties. So it's kind of a neat thing that it's free. You could just, download that. And if you want to know who, does what, but you don't need to, you can just ask, they can all help, so
they'll tell you.
So I have that. And if you're not on Facebook or Instagram or the socials, my readings are also on the website too. And anything that's coming up, I usually add that in there.
Yeah.
too,
And also, like, you send out emails for people to sign up, because you have classes and you have a workshop. We're a retreat coming up in the summer, right? Or
well,
spring.
and also once a month I do send out, and I don't spam you, so it's like once a month only. You'll get a newsletter, and that's the energy of the month, and usually 4 angels that I recommend you work with. And in there, I put in that I have a retreat. It is it's coming up soon. I think it's the end of April. It's in Woodstock, New York. It is so cute there. Like, you should come, April. It's the cutest little town. And we're holding the retreat in the back of this great little new age store. My friend Robbie and I are hosting, and it's really how to live a more conscious life. Just we're going to talk about angels. We're going to give exercises to clear, to ground,
Yeah.
you know, to move energy and all kinds of good stuff.
I know. Well, Woodstock's a good place to explore all of that for
it's
sure.
so fun.
Fun. Well, anyway, thank you so much for coming in. Everyone, thank you for watching the Jersey Buzz. And if you like this conversation, check out Nicole. She's amazing. Book a session with her, reading, and just try it. You might like it. Anyway, like, share, and comment on this. And again, thanks for watching and buzzing off till the next time.